Good afternoon. It's Wednesday, August the 5th, 2020. Welcome to Own the Web Wednesdays from SLA LMD. My name is Rebecca Jones. I'm with Dysart & Jones Associates, and we are pleased to sponsor these webinars, these meetings, these sessions, and this is our very first one. This is on GIFs, or as Dan will tell us, may be pronounced GIFs or GIFs. Both are correct. And Dan Bostrom, we are so pleased, of Rails, is going to lead us through how to create GIFs or GIFs using Giphy, and also talks about befunky.com. Thanks for joining us. Here you go.
Recording it, and all chats for LMD are up on the LMD community site. If you can't find them, we'll have to reorganize them. Also, if you're interested, SLA Canada, also up on the SLA Canada community site, and also on dysartjones.com site. And I am just going to ask you, most of you are on mute now, please type into the chat where you are, how you are. Welcome to those just joining us. I'll keep admitting people. The reason that we use a waiting room is just to be careful with Zoom, although the registration works very well. Please type in any questions or comments into the chat. I will be responsible for watching that, but also put your hand up if you want to ask a question. We do not run these as webinars because we want them to be interactive. Quite frankly, webinars are really boring, and I never pay any attention because I know I'm going to get the recorded view, so I'd much rather talk to people, just so you know. And now I'm going to turn it over to Ray Pun, who has, it says he's the co for professional development, but you know what? He's doing the professional development. Thank you so much, Ray. And he is on the West Coast in San Francisco, with those of you that are there, and he's going to introduce today.
Great, thanks, Rebecca. Hi, everyone. My name is Ray Pun. I'm an academic/school librarian out in the West Coast in California, as Rebecca mentioned. And today we're really thrilled to have Dan Bostrom to talk about GIFs, design your own kind of approach. But I think one of the things we wanted to mention at LMD is that we have a series of webinars. We have one coming up next week, which is focusing on a new app called SkillType. Same time and date, Wednesday, August 12th at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And Tony Zanders, who is the software entrepreneur, will be leading us on his new product called SkillType. So hopefully all of you can join us. And also on August 19th, Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time and 12 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Eastern, excuse me, we have a session led by our LMD executive board member, Chrissy Gillook, on TikTok. So if you're interested in that, welcome you all to join in. So we're doing a series of webinars on Wednesdays, and really happy to have this one coming through. So with that being said, I wanted to introduce our speaker and topic. So Dan is the member engagement manager for the Reaching Across Illinois Library System, Rails, a multi-type library system representing Northern and Western Illinois. He's also the current LMD communication chair. Thank you, Dan, for your work on this, and we look forward to hearing it. Take it away.
Thank you, Ray. And thank you, Ray and Rebecca, for this. I'm excited to be here. Hello, everyone, and happy Wednesday from Chicago. Again, my name is Dan Bostrom, and I am the member engagement manager at a multi-type library system called Rails. It's about 1,300 libraries in Northern and Western Illinois, Chicago suburbs. We reach all the way to the Mississippi River, and that includes special libraries. We have about 100 special libraries in our system, including some corporate libraries like John Deere, Caterpillar, some bigger federal libraries. We have the local EPA branch. we have, you know, a bunch of national archives, things like that. So it's a cool job, and I really enjoy it because I get to see a lot of different types of libraries and engage with folks. As Ray mentioned, I'm also the LMD Communications Chair. So you will probably, if you are an LMD member, you'll get emails from me. You'll see my name on SLA Connect. So today I'm excited to talk to you about Giphy and GIFs. We're going to talk about the pronunciation of that term in a little bit here, but this is a fun way to engage people. It's just one solution for this, and I'll walk you through a little bit about how to create one. Let's kind of start with the GIF. So what is a GIF? The pronunciation, let's get that out of the way. So some people say GIF, like the peanut butter. I prefer GIF. I did see that the Oxford English Dictionary actually said that both pronunciations are acceptable. So I want you all to rest easy if you are particularly dedicated to one of those. So what is it? It's actually, it's a file format, and it's kind of the midpoint between an image and a video. I really like that definition because you're seeing a GIF on the right-hand side of your screen. I think they're wonderful. I think they're very eye-catching, and I think they're particularly great for social media, which a lot of you are utilizing in your communications more and more. But I also want to note that they can be used in a lot of other places. For example, your website, your e-news. So if you have an e-newsletter, presentations like the one I'm doing right here, other chat communication formats, and you know, one of the biggest reasons that people use GIFs is because they offer a smaller file size than videos. So, you know, videos can be really big file sizes, and, you know, a GIF like this is actually pretty small. Video files are relatively difficult to transmit. So, you know, if you put something, you can put something on YouTube and point people to it, but with a GIF, it's like a mini video that you can actually, you know, transmit very much more easily. So sometimes you'll see people actually, especially young people, communicating via GIF, and that's why it's so amazing. I mean, if a picture speaks 1,000 words, look at this like short video. You're getting many pictures, you know, per second, and you're able to speak thousands of words with that GIF. Okay, so what is Giphy? So, you know, if a dictionary is a place to find words, then a Giphy is a place to find GIFs. It's a free product, and I think it serves two very important functions. So first, it's a place to search. It's a search tool where you can find GIFs, mostly that other people have made. You can sort of see the ones that are trending. You can see the ones that relate to issues that you are interested in. GIFs were really meant to be shared, so this is the place basically to share them. Two, it's a place where you can make your own. And I think that's a big part of my presentation today, is how to make your own. You know, it's free, it's easy, and I think, again, it really makes your communications look cool. So at this point, I'm actually going to jump out of this presentation, and this is a Google slides that I'm going to share later with you. And I'm going to take you over to Giphy. So this is what Giphy looks like. If you're not if you're not a young person, this might look a little bit intimidating. It sort of looks like a Blade Runner website. But please do not be scared. I think it contains a lot of cool stuff that you can explore, and it's pretty easy to do without an account. I am logged in right now, but I'm going to search it as if I'm not. So, you know, if I search, I'm just going to do a quick search for you right now and do libraries. And you're gonna see a bunch of GIFs that have been tagged libraries. You see the one that I actually put into my presentation right here. So I favorited this one earlier, and you can actually do that over here. You can see that I copied the link, so it gives you a link to the GIF. So it's really easy to share that way. This just gives me basically the URL that I can use to upload it. So if I actually took this and I dropped it into like my Twitter, and I can do that right now. Let's say I wanted to tweet something. I wanted to take this link right here, copy, and it tells me I've copied it, and I'm going to paste it. It would create the GIF as if I was tweeting it. and it would open directly into my Twitter. So that's a really nice usage for it. I really like that. You can do the same thing for Facebook. If you put it into a Facebook post, it's going to show up as a GIF, which is really great. That HTML5 code right here, this is for your website. Again, this is a really nice way. It's fast and easy to use and to drop straight into some sort of website or chat or something like that. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my presentation here, and let's talk about creating your own GIF. Okay. So I'm going to start with some of the account management things. Again, the first step is to create your account. And it is free. You do need an email address, but that's basically the only thing that you need. I'm going to show you the desktop version. There is an app, and I really think the app is very easy to use. But because I'm presenting this on a desktop, it's a lot easier for me to show you how to do that. You can manage your GIFs across formats. So if I create a GIF via the app, via my phone, I'm going to have access to it on the desktop version. I do, one of the beautiful things about the mobile version that I'm going to talk about is you can sort of skip a file transfer step, which I need to talk to you about, and I'm going to present that in a second. So I just want to make sure that you know about that. But I'll take you back to the website and just show you kind of the first step is, see, I'm logged in here. If you're not logged in, there's going to be a join thing that you would just click on right there. It says join Giphy, and you can be, and that's how you can start. That's how you can start uploading. It really only asks again for like an email, a username, and then a password, and you can create those really quickly. There's no credit card account information necessary or anything like that. Once you've set up your password, you can start creating. And so I've done the work of, I've already created a series of pictures, and I'll show you that. This is just in a file on my file structure. You can see that I have all the pictures that I want to use to create my GIF. I did this with my iPhone, and actually tethered it to my desktop. So I used a USB cable, plugged my iPhone in, and then uploaded it to my file structure. At a previous job, I had a DSLR camera, which is a really nice, Rebel camera, and I think it took amazing pictures, and I was able to upload them easily, and that was awesome. I did that really easily. When I left that job, I lost the camera, unfortunately, but it takes amazing photos, and it made it very easy to do this. If you're doing this on a phone, I would suggest tethering it, using a USB cord to upload, because it's going to be a lot easier to do that. If you try to like email yourself or put it into like Google Drive, you're just going to be adding more steps, frankly, and that's can be relatively frustrating. So again, I just uploaded these. I took them in my apartment, and I've set them up like this, and you're going to see how you can lay them out real easily with Giphy, and then kind of add some cool snazzy graphics to it as well. Okay, so you can see that my images form a little bit of a progression. So they're in order of the way that I took them, and I would suggest that you think this through before you are going to create a GIF. You wanna be able to kind of think through how the progression is going to be made. So take them and then upload them. You can even put them. You can like give them special names. If you want to say like picture 1, picture 2, picture 3, that's a good way to do it. And then, okay, so you've got your photos, you've got your Giphy. What's next here? Let's go back. Okay, so transferring them. This is going to be a big thing that you're going to need to do. Again, I'll take you back to Giphy Maker in a second here. So just so you know, you want to have JPEGs for the most part. JPEGs are the widely accepted file format, and I think iPhones automatically create JPEGs. So that is the file format you're going to have. If you have PNG, that's okay too, but for the most part, JPEGs. Again, I have my photos as JPEGs. And if I take them and I go to create, it's going to give you two options. The first option is to choose photo or GIF, and I've got my photos right there. The other option is choose video. You can actually create a GIF from a video, but I'm not going to go down that route. That's a little bit of a 201. Maybe that's another own the web session here. You know, you can actually take a YouTube video and create a GIF from a YouTube video, but again, I'm not going to go down that route. That's kind of next level stuff. We're just going to stick to sort of stop motion GIFs. So I've got my photos here, and the way that I'm going to create my GIF is by taking them and I just press Control, and I'm going to drop them directly into that uploader thing. You can see that it's uploading like that. It's going to take a second. So I've got a little bit here. You know, the process will be slow, especially if you are dropping big files. What I consider to be big files is anything like 10 to 15 megabytes. Gmail, for reference for you, Gmail has a 25 megabit limit for attachments. So if you have 4 photos which are each 8 megabytes each, Google's going to ask you to put them into Google Drive, and that's how you're going to be able to transfer them. Giphies, there's a total file upload limit of 100 megabytes, and I think each of these that I just put in are like 3 or 4. So I'm not even close to that. So if you're trying to upload like 8, 10 megabyte files onto Giphy, it's going to take a while. That's 80 megabytes. It's going to be slow. Mine's a little bit faster. They recommend on their website 8 megabytes or less. Again, I said each of my photos is like 3 megabytes. And if you're looking for a way to sort of reduce the file size, this is kind of getting really nerdy. But if you're looking for a way to reduce those file size, one thing I like is a tool called befunky.com, and I'll put that into befunky.com. It's much like Giphy. It's a free photo editor tool, and if you put create and you drop it into that photo editor, you can actually resize a photo, so you can reduce the size of the file. I do this a lot when I have to share something. If I know it's just not going to transfer easily, I'll drop it into befunky. I'll let you play around with that on there. Okay, so again, yep. Go ahead.
Dan, can I just ask you, so Tyler asked, for groups, does uploading pictures to Giphy give all the rights to those pictures to Giphy or their parent org?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know that answer. I would assume that there is some like, you know, there's some definite rights thing, and I wouldn't advise you if like this is mine, and like I don't mind giving it out, but if that is concerned with you, I don't know that answer. I would have to look much more closely. This is just kind of something fun and easy to do. Again, if you have photos that you want to keep the rights to, I would suggest doing some much more detailed research on that. But good question. Thank you so much for that.
Right. Thanks, Dan.
Yep, no problem. Okay, so at this point, Giphy actually creates a very nice. Actually, I can. It creates an order for my pictures. So the photos are actually a little bit out of order, and I'm going to screw around with this to make sure it goes into the right order. Boom, boom, boom. Sometimes it puts it into really nice order, but apparently that did not happen here. But it looks like now they are in the order that no, they're not in the order that I want. Okay.
No, that one, yeah, that one needs to go over there.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay. So this is yeah, that's great. So this is how it works, and you can see that I can actually mess with how fast it goes. So this is really fast. This is probably too fast for what I want. Oh, and this looks like this is out of order slightly. Oh, maybe this is happening twice. Yeah.
Maybe it duplicated.
Maybe it duplicated. I don't know. Yeah, but let's see if that order should be right. Okay. Anyways, so you can see that it creates an order for the slides, and you're seeing it go at 0.7 seconds per image, which I think is kind of the perfect amount. And once you've figured out an order for it, you can really easily go to decorate, and this is where things get pretty dangerous. So I'm going to take you to the decorate section. And this is a lot like if you're familiar with Instagram, this is a way that you can sort of decorate, much like Instagram, and add filters. If you're a decorative arts person, this is going to be manna from heaven. If I want to add a caption here, I want to say like, here comes the book train, and I can choose a color, I can choose a font, I can even make it animate. So look, that's kind of a pretty way. Look, here comes the book train. I can also mess around with stickers. And you can do a search here, much like you can do a search of Giphy. You can do a search for, I want to look up train, and oh yeah, I definitely want to add that. Oops, if I just click on it, it'll show up here. Yep, there it is. Oh, it looks like I had multiple trains here. That's okay. I'm a fan of less is more. So you can get really crazy and do something like spooky. If this, yeah, exactly. If this was October, you would get clicks and likes like you would not believe with this type of thing. But again, a little bit goes a long way. I could also draw. So if I have some, let's say I want some clouds in here, I'm going to do a Bob Ross for those of you who are PBS fans, and draw some fluffy white clouds. And this is just kind of a fun way. Again, you're decorating your video or your GIF in a way. So I don't really like all the messy stuff, so I'm just going to click start over. Oh no, you know what? I don't want to do that. So you know what? I'll just keep all this stuff, and then I'm going to click upload. And this is the way that you would actually upload it to Giphy. So you would upload to your account. If I do that, it's going to create it. It's going to take me directly to. I can place it as a source. I can actually make it public or not public. And this might be the answer to your question about whether you want to keep your copyright behind it. But if I click off, it's not going to show in any search. But if I click on, it's going to show up in searches, and I want to make it show up in like libraries, for example. So I click upload, and it says it starts uploading. And again, this might take a little while depending on how big the file is or how small the file is, but it does happen pretty quickly for a smaller GIF like this. Again, it's going to take me to like the file basically page. It creates a page for your file, and it's going to be the same page that I showed you, like that Texas A&M library GIF where you're looking straight down a path of bookshelves, and from there you're going to be able to use, again, like that link. You're going to be able to put it onto like a website. You can embed it, and I'll show you how to do that in a second here. You do need to, if you can share it directly to your social media accounts. If you're going to do that from Giphy, you need to authorize Giphy to do that, and that's a little bit of a process. I won't go into that, but it's pretty easy. You just authorize the app with your social media account. So okay, it's still thinking. You know what? I will take you directly to my account and show you one that I've already. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so it's created this. Again, I can copy the link and go directly to wherever I want to share it. I can use this embed code, and I'm going to show you how to do that so that it plays. But this is, and it's created its own URL right there. All right.
And Dan,
yep.
Can you also just automatically use those icons? Like the share to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram icons?
Yeah, but as I mentioned, it's going to ask me to authorize the app.
Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, right. Sorry. So yeah. Actually, it looks like I may have authorized the app because it's or you know what? It's because I'm signed in.
Okay.
It's because I'm signed in with Twitter.
Okay.
But yes, you can do that. But I would suggest copying the link will get you just as easily. Yeah. It's just it's one extra step.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, so let's go back to the presentation. Okay, so this is one that I created earlier. Same thing, new book train, and I've uploaded it directly to, to the presentation. So it's easy to use. Okay, so before I show you how to upload it, I do want to mention that I have homework. So I want you all to go home and create a GIF. I'm going to post my slides, and this is cool because you can use SLA Connect for this. I'm going to post my slides to the open forum section of SLA Connect, and when I do that, I would ask that you comment on my post with your own GIF, and you can use it using the HTML function. Okay, so how to do that. All right, so do I have to sign in? I might have to sign into SLA Connect. I don't know if I've been in. Oh, looks like I'm signed in. That's
You're
great.
signed in everywhere, Dan. Okay, I forgot to ask you this question.
Yep.
Can you change the public to private easily after the initial creation, or are you limited to the first setting that you choose?
Let's find out. No. You know what? I don't think you can change it. I think you might be limited to what you first choose. I don't know how to go. Let's see if I have. Yeah, I don't know of a way to go in and edit it to change that, but but that's something that is a great question. It's something to explore. I'll look into that to try to find out.
Well, it's free.
It is, yeah, it
like,
is.
You know, you get what you pay for.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the open forum. I actually left. If you were paying attention, I actually left a comment on Rebecca's post about the Own the Web series, which is tell me, scream at me if you find it. Where's Rebecca's post?
Rebecca Jones.
Did it bleed over into the next one?
More than 20 days ago? Really?
It can't be, can it?
I don't know.
Okay, actually.
Oh, I just saw my name. Oh, that's probably about something else. Never mind.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to do it on Michael's. Michael, if you're watching, I'm not actually going to comment. Okay, so okay, so I want to embed this. So I take the embed code, I just press Control C to copy, and I can go to expand plus editor, and I go HTML, and I put the source code in there, and I click OK, and it's going to show up as a functioning GIF. And if I commented like this, I don't know, this would be a really weird comment to leave on Michael's original post. But if I wanted to, it would show up like this, and people would be able to see it, and it would look exactly like a GIF is supposed to. So that is the way that you upload it. And to SLA Connect. It's a lot easier with social media, as I mentioned. And that is my presentation. Rebecca, are there any other questions?
Well, there is Ann Barker, and of course it would be Ann. You're so good, Ann. Saw that there was a pencil at the bottom right of the GIF, and perhaps that is to edit it. She saw a pencil.
A pencil? Oh, here, yes.
There. So perhaps.
Oh, yes, you can turn it off. Yeah,
there you go. Thanks, Ann.
Yay! Yeah, look at that. Crowdsource. Good for you, Ann.
So good. Yeah.
Cool. Oh, yep. And now it says this GIF is private and it can only be seen by you. This is a spooky, spooky GIF. I don't know if you can all see that. It's a weird one. It's a weird one, but
yeah. I wondered where you were going with that. The book train, of course. Yeah.
Rails, get it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder, has anybody on the call ever created GIFs?
Yeah, I would love to know that.
Oh, Miles, you have. So unmute yourself, Miles. Tell us. And how did you use them? Just for fun?
Yeah, for fun. And I think this was back in like the MySpace days, but I haven't done that since.
Oh, right. Okay.
I have a question just about like how to use, not how to use, and thank you for this workshop on the details of how to create one. But I guess I'm wondering, what's the best delivery method? Like, do they work best on Twitter or Facebook or email? What delivery method has the most success in terms of clicks or likes?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think that it really depends on what platforms you are using, that you use most frequently, and that your organization or you individually are like known for. I'll give you an example. I know of a library. This is a public library. Um, in the Chicago suburbs, which has a wonderful Instagram account, and they do great things. And I know that they create GIFs using their Instagram. They deliver GIFs using their Instagram account, and it's really fun. So I sort of stole this idea from them in a way. So like when they get new books in, the way that they help promote those new books is using GIFs. They do cool things like Book Face Friday. You know, they try to position their books in a way that make them appealing and bring new authors to light. So I really like that. How that works in a special library is slightly different, but I think you can all sort of see what might work for your audience. So for example, if your special library had a Facebook account, you could drop them into Facebook. I think I could see a lot of uses for Facebook. I do know, and I also want to encourage you to use them again in like email, in e-newsletters as well. I think MailChimp has a great way of delivering those, and I think if any of you use MailChimp, GIFs work really well with that format. So do try it out. Good question, Miles. Thank you.
That's great. And Jennifer asks if there's other Giphy-like apps that you know of or you ever have tried, and is there a way to make money on a GIF? Way to go, Jennifer. Yeah. I like your thinking.
I'm gonna go back to the PowerPoint so that you all don't get really sick of looking at that. I'm gonna answer the second question about making money and say I don't know. I don't think so. I personally subscribe to the theory that again, GIFs are for sharing, and that this is content that is probably best just made free and available as long as you don't mind sharing it out there with others. There's a lot of work that's modified upon other people's works. So much like making a meme, you can, it's really easy to just, create text, your own text based on your situation. I've seen people respond so quickly and easily to, popular memes, making them easily available for the library world. And I think our field is particularly good at responding to those type of things. So other platforms that I've used, again, I use BeFunky, and I again, that's not a GIF making piece of software, but it is a really nice way to edit photos. And I think that is sort of tangentially related to your question. I know other people use Canva. I know other people use other free tools out there. Canva has most of these have like a pro or like a premium version that you have to pay for. I don't really get into that most of the time. I don't do a lot of design. Most of what I'm doing is just a quick, easy win sort of on social media that people will get a rise out of.
That's great. You're such an open access guy, Anne says. No, I agree, because I would think that you get into all kinds of stuff with somebody else's property. I mean, unless it was yours, but
right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's why I like taking your own pictures and making your own GIFs. I can see the theory behind people using the traditional memes and other people's photos and things like that. And that's why I also didn't do the video thing, is because unless it's your video, that gets into some a little dangerous territory.
Right. Right. Anybody else? Yeah, no? Okay, well, you have homework to do anyway. So remember, we are all to go. Oh, do you take any steps to identify your own photos? Oh.
No, usually no. No, I don't. Again, you can, you could actually put like you could put your username. You could take some text and put your username into it. That is one thing to do. I know I've seen some libraries do that where they'll put their put their username like at whatever library, and sort of brand it a little bit that way. I think that's a nice step to take. I would suggest that you do that, just for the more not necessarily from the copyright perspective of things, but more for the the branding side of things,
Right.
so that people know that you're taking the time to create this, because again, this is content that you're putting out there that that people should recognize you as the creator.
Right. Right. Yeah, I know Brampton Public Library does that on their Instagram that I follow. They always have theirs branded. And Jennifer wants to know, can you put a watermark on it?
Yeah, that is a great question. I don't know. I actually don't know about that one, and I would suspect that there is a way that you can via Giphy, but I tend to think that a lot of that stuff is easier to do in Photoshop. I know that you can also create GIFs in Photoshop. I don't have an Adobe Creative Cloud subscription. I have colleagues at my place of work that do, and so a lot of times if I do want to do a watermark, I'll ask them to drop that in there. But that gets into like layers, like image layering, and that is definitely not my area of expertise. I'm pretty sure that you could do it using, I could see a way that you could do it using BeFunky, and you could create a layer of just another layer by uploading basically an image onto an image. But that is probably past my technical capabilities, quite frankly.
Certainly mine. Any accessibility issues?
Yes, I could see a lot of
for sure.
accessibility issues. Absolutely. Yeah, that is definitely a concern. And frankly, I don't consider myself an expert enough to address those, but I would suggest there's got to be a way to make these accessible. I do know, well, for example, with Twitter, you can create one thing that my organization is we always use alt text. So if you are uploading an image, Twitter gives directly onto Twitter gives you an option of creating alt text. And so that is readable by screen readers. Facebook does not. I do know that Facebook doesn't give you even the option of putting alt text into your images. So we use that alt text whenever we are doing social media on Twitter, or social media via Twitter, to put in image credit. So if it is not our image and we are borrowing it from someone else, for example, we use a free image software, free image provider called Unsplash, and you will give credit to the creator via Unsplash, and then also put a description of the photo. And just make sure, one thing I do know, that make sure you put a period after each of your sentences. So you're saying people at a library, period, and then image credit, and then colon, Unsplash creator username, and then period. And that is a way that you, that is certainly a way that you can address accessibility via screen readers via Twitter. But Facebook, I don't know. Facebook is a lot less easy to use that way.
Right. What's the best way to get library admin permission if you do this for work? Or do you just do it and hope they don't see it?
The latter. No, my thing is people are already communicating this way.
Right.
If your organization is not communicating this way, you're missing out on a portion of a potential population. You may consider it to be, I don't know, maybe you consider it to be not professional or something like that. But I just think that, the way that people are reading these days or not reading these days, GIF becoming a language of their own. Same with memes. And this is the way that people are reacting to things. So if you wanted to get permission, I would suggest doing some research on how people are using these things and how other companies are using these. I mean, you're seeing brands create their own GIFs, create their own memes, and so I would suggest that this is something that you should be considering to do.
Right, and it certainly isn't an issue in either public or academic. They are all over it in terms of using it on their Instagram and their website. So, and this is exactly what we hoped for Own the Web Wednesdays. It's like short, to the point. And do you think there's an audience GIFs are more popular with? Miles, do you think so? He's talking about different generations. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I do think that it's more of a like adopter personality, and somebody who and this cuts across generations, I believe, and people that you know, obviously it's people that are more adept at using the internet and the resources on the internet, and you know, different forms of social media, and there are obviously some generational aspects to that, but I don't think, but it's not worth generalizing about in my mind. I think it's anybody that I think it's anybody that wants to convey a lot of complicated issues in a short amount of time. And again, right. these are just great ways to sort of communicate those.
And Miles agrees. So thanks, Miles. Thanks, everybody. And thank you so much, Dan. You did exactly what I hoped we'd do. Short, to the point. Here you go. Okay, everybody, you've got 20 minutes to go do your homework and post a big thank you to Dan. Yeah. And wow, the rest of SLA, it will be such a nice reprieve from all of those long emails about various things that shall remain nameless, okay? Thanks, everybody. We hope to see you next week for skill type. It looks really popular, and so looking forward to it. Thanks, Ray. Bye, everybody.
Thanks Rebecca.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.